We are down to the last two races of the season here in the Herr Sprint Series, and we only have Daytona and Darlington left to go on the schedule. We are leading into the Valvoline 400 this Friday night here in the Wall Cup Series. Tonight, it's the Florida 200 in the Herr Sprint Series, and Juan Romero could very well win this Herr Sprint Series championship here tonight. He's got to get through 20 laps and finish ahead of Nathan Faden for him to clinch it. But the opportunity is there. The big question is, will he take it? It's the Florida 200, 20 laps of action here at the World Center Racing for the second time this season here in the Herr Sprint Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway here for the 31st race of the season in the Herr Sprint Series. This is the Florida 200. It's going to be a very fun and exhilarating race. We had a fun race last night in the Lenovo Pro Series, and we're going to have another fun one here for another 20-lap shootout for these drivers. And I'm joined alongside Matt Tuck. Great to have you back, and Max Davis as well, and both of you guys are owners in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, which opens up tomorrow night. These guys run the same physics package. So what are you looking forward to in this race, given that you're going to see the same type of racing here tonight as you will see tomorrow night in the Truck Series opener?
I think it's going to be a really interesting race here. You only got 24 cars in this race. But we've seen it time and time again. Sometimes these Daytona races can all just come down to, are you in the right place at the right time? And with a lot on the line tonight, I think someone who's going to try and be in that right place in the right time is the 87 of Juan Romero.
Yeah, I'm really excited, both for the Truck Series and for this race. It's going to be a, compelling race, I don't know if Juan Romero necessarily clinches it today, just with how chaotic things can be, but obviously he's going to try his best to do that. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be a fun race, no doubt about it. And like I said, gives us a preview for tomorrow night, Friday night as well in the Wall Cup Series. So we've got a great week of racing because the IndyCar finale is this Saturday as well. And, hey, we're excited to see how it all ends up shaking out. But this is how they line up in the points here in the Sprint Series, and this may be the last time we look at it. Juan Romero is 38 points ahead of Nathan Faden. Nathan Faden needs to finish at least 10 positions, actually at least 11 positions ahead of the 87, at least 11 points gained on the 87 in this race in order for him to still have a mathematical chance at the championship next week at Darlington. So if Romero finishes ahead of Faden, it's over, and Romero wins the Herr Sprint Series championship. And there's a very good opportunity for that to happen here tonight. Both drivers start on the outside lane as well. It'll be difficult for Faden to get out of that from that outside lane. Another thing to consider here in this race is that we have the restrictor plates on these cars, so they're not going the 220 miles per hour like we see in the Pro Series and in races years past. These guys have to slow it down a little bit, which makes it a little bit hard to make moves throughout the field. And because of that, you may end up seeing these guys who start up front possibly go to victory lane. Corey Case, unfortunately not in this race. He won here at Daytona back in February. And Chris Reynolds is 61 points behind, with Labarito 69 points behind. We'll have to see how the rest of the points order ends up shaking out. But it's looking good for Juan Romero, only unless something crazy happens here tonight. The starting lineup is very interesting. Christian Master, who won the Valvoline 400 last year, starts on the pole position. Maybe not the guy you want starting on the pole for this race alongside Josh Harmon. Stuart Gratton is alongside the 69 of Duncan Ward. This is a great opportunity for Stuart to maybe get a race victory, and I know both of you would love to see him get it because both of your truck teams are affiliated with Gratton, and you guys are definitely going for some race wins over there. Duncan Ward, of course, got a win in the last race here in the Sprint Series at Michigan. And you got Matt Black, who's still going for his first win of the season. They're starting in 5th alongside Brandon Nelson in the 92. We've got ourselves the 88 machine there of Baltazar Steep to the inside of Juan Romero. Of course, Romero definitely a driver to watch out for here in this race because of his championship hope in clinching it here tonight. We got Dylan Matthews, and the 02 of Michael Lewis is back. We got the 53 machine there of Andrew Williams to the inside of Chris Reynolds. We've got ourselves the 50 machine of Herr Larvin Alonso to the inside of Nathan Faden. Of course, Faden trying to chase Romero down in this race and finish well ahead of him to have a shot at the title at Darlington. Leonard Koshmer in the 93. Of course, He wanted to drive the 93 because he's going to be driving for Evans Ross Racing full-time in the Truck Series starting tomorrow night, alongside the 4 machine there of Angel Olvera. We got Anthony McClure, Santiago Labrito, Carson Miller, Skylar Taylor, Richard Kingard in the 57, and the 13 machine driven by Sammy Kamara, first career start for them. 96 machine of Bob Haywood, and then Emily Bull in the 99. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from Daytona for the Florida 200. And we've seen the field of the drivers here for this one. We'll see how it all ends up shaking out. Matt and then Max, who do you guys think is going to victory lane here tonight, here at the Daytona International Speedway?
I am paid for con artist to push one agenda. I'm not going to jinx it though tonight. I'm going to pick a former driver who drove for us, the 92 of Brandon Nelson. I believe he is going to find his way to the front here at Daytona and win this race tonight.
I got a driver that I think he's kind of a little under the radar. Moved up in the top 20 in points. I'm gonna pick Matt Black. He's got some moxie and gusto to him. I like that about a driver.
And of course, the thing about Matt Black is he really hasn't been flying under the radar as of late, even though he's 20th in points. He's done that with 11 starts and 8 top 5s. He's been in a lot of the Wawa Cup Series races since he started racing. He's had a very good run, an average finishing position of 5.91 in those 11 races. Too bad he missed a majority of the beginning of the season, or otherwise he'd have an opportunity at the championship. All right, Christian Master starting on the pole position. Like I said, won the Valvoline 400 last year. He would love to return to that race, and especially in the Groton Autosport 11, and defend his Valvoline 400 race win. But I know you guys are going to be rooting for Stuart Gratton there in that 64. He's also going to be a driver to watch out for. And Duncan Ward, who won our last race. Let's put it this way. It's going to be a fun one here with all these very interesting drivers starting up front here tonight at Daytona. It's 20 laps here for this Florida 200, so we'll have to see how it all goes down, regardless of the fact we're ready to go, and we're green flag racing here in the penultimate race of the season in the Herr Sprint Series. Well, how about this one? Stuart Gratton up front. He's going to lead lap 1 here in the Florida 200. Master got shuffled out of line there, and he's now second in line on the outside lane. Josh Harmon on the outside in front of him in the 80 machine, battling side by side with Gratton. Matt Black, Balthazar Steep, Dylan Matthews on the inside. And we're going to have to see how this race ends up shaking out, because it's going to be difficult to work your way through the field, but we'll see these guys shuffle in the back. Balthazar Steep going, looking 3 wide there on the 90, not going to do it, and Josh Harmon getting that outside lane to work to his advantage for the top spot.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if the two teammates on the bottom of the racetrack can shuffle this 90 car perhaps out, and I think we've seen over the past 2 years of these GNS cars, if you can control the bottom lane, you're going to be in a very good shot to win. Obviously, you got to fight the top lane as well, but controlling these front lanes is absolutely key here at Daytona with the way this drafting is.
Look at Master trying to get the 80 car out in front, but I just don't think he's got the support behind him, aside from that 69 Duncan.
You got Christian Master trying to get his way back up front, but he's kind of deadlocked in that position right now. And that was a bit of a rough start for Master there, getting shuffled to that position, and now Got the top two are kind of controlling the field at the moment. But we got some 3 wide in the back, and of course, if we get 4 wide here at Daytona, that's when you know all heck breaks loose. And we saw it happen when we were here in February with these guys. Caused a massive accident, and they got really crazy at the end of that one. And hey, 20 laps is still a bit of a long time here at Daytona. 50-mile race for these guys, much longer than how it was when we came here in August last year for the Sprint Series. So it's going to be fascinating to see how it ends up shaking out. How about Dylan Matthews in the 39? Here's Larvin Alonso, Carson Miller on this inside lane. They got a full head of steam down there, and they may go 3 wide for the race lead here on lap 4.
Yeah, this is a big shove there. Oh, go on.
Oh, thank you. They had a great run there. I did not expect that. They just shot right by most of those guys.
And take a look there on the bottom, talking about some teammate pairings. We got the 25 of Carson Miller, the 55 of Skylar Taylor working their way on the bottom of this racetrack. But Matt Black, Dylan Matthews, where have we seen this before?
And that's Larvin Alonso there in the 50 for this race.
Oh, no, my bad. Oh,
and
no.
I know Alonso would absolutely love to win this race. It has been a while since he's won as a driver. But, you know, he wants to get a win as a driver. Of course, a relatively successful owner in the Wawa Cup Series. Of course, he's got his 2 drivers in the Truck Series starting tomorrow night. And here we go. We're deadlocked 3 wide for the race lead here between Alonso, Matthews, and the 80 machine there of Josh Harmon. You got to give a lot of credit to Josh Harmon, who is actually kind of controlling this field. He's going to lead at the quarter-way mark of this race. And I tell you, one driver gets out of line, goes 4 wide, and we could easily have ourselves a massive accident here at Daytona. They're 3 wide throughout the entire field here in this Florida 200. Alonso trying to clear Matthews and Josh Harmon. He also got the 25 machine of Carson Miller trying to get his first career win on the channel. Had a good run in the Cup Series at Watkins Glen when he advanced on to that one. Skylar Taylor looking for their first win of the season as well. And he also got the 96 machine there. That is Bob Haywood looking for his first career win on the channel. We'll have to see if these guys end up staying in their respective positions, but a good run for Alonso on this inside lane. He could definitely have a good shot at winning this race, but Dylan Matthews is going to lead this lap around here at Daytona.
Alonso's on the
right
bottom.
Now, a bit of a deadlock because all of these guys are giving really strong pushes to the front 3 cars, and nobody can just move. It's a battle of attrition right now, and well, so far the 50's winning.
Yeah, that is one thing we see a lot of, the interesting way of how the plates on these cars react versus when you take them off and set the... Carson. I saw that 25. He's thinking about it. He had that thought in his head. He's like, I can make this fit. Please don't do this, Carson. You're going to find out the hard way if we wreck all the cars here. Oh, boy. Dylan Matthews is going to lead that line. But
now, luckily.
Hopefully. But, yeah, we see it here a lot in these when the plates are on. You know, track position could be at an extreme premium here at the Daytona International Speedway, which it definitely makes this race very interesting.
Alonso might actually get the push to clear those top 2 lanes right there. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case for him. Meanwhile, in terms of this championship, Nathan Faden is not far enough ahead, I should say, of Romero at the moment. Like I said, he needs 11 points to just have a mathematical opportunity. 27 within would be enough to have a shot at tying at Darlington. Of course, he would love for him to win and Romero to finish last in this race, but the thing for Faden, he is in the middle lane, and that is a tough place to be because it's really hard to move back or move up front. But Romero, right now in the last position, battling there with Michael Lewis. We'll have to see how it ends up shaking out, but Faden trying to move his way up through the field, trying to have enough spots in between him and Romero so he has a chance at Darlington next week. This inside lane may clear. Alonso trying to get the push there from Carson Miller to clear Matthews and Josh Harmon, but not quite getting it right now, and these 3 drivers still remain 3 wide out front for the race lead.
Harmon is getting some excellent pushes, but Virgil is Oh,
Uh-oh.
Close. And now for the race
He looked.
lead.
Uh-oh.
Carson Miller has got a bumper on
right.
Alonso. And they're going to keep it together.
Saves it.
And the big reason why they kept it
lost
together is
momentum.
because we have these restrictor plates on these cars. They're not going quite as fast, a little bit easier to save them, and now things are really getting wild out there. Miller wants the race lead, and Alonso may actually clear the top 2 lanes. He's going to get out of Carson's way right there and move up ahead of Dylan Matthews. So that's going to give the opportunity to Carson Miller and his teammate Skylar Taylor on the inside lane. Harmon getting a huge run on the outside lane. And a little bit of a shuffle up front here as we're coming to halfway here in this Florida 200.
Carson Miller was almost, if this was the Pro Series and that happened, Carson Miller would have been upside down in another galaxy after that, but he's now leading the race. He's got that 80 car, Josh Harmon, out of the way, and he's going to take Skylar Taylor with him. And don't look now right behind them. We have the 13 of Sammy Kamara in, is this Sammy Kamara's first start, I believe, on the channel? Battling for a win at Daytona, of all places?
Daytona's a great equalizer, especially in this equal rating series, and it's definitely anyone's game the way this race has played out so far, especially if you're on the inside lane. And here we go, Juan Romero, as Faden falls back in the 1, has gotten around him, and if they finish the way they currently run, Romero will clinch the championship here tonight at Daytona. We'll have to see if he ends up finishing there. We're still 9 laps to go here at Daytona, and that's a long time at a place like this.
Yeah, these guys they're starting to get antsy. I mean, Miller made that move that almost wrecked the entire field. And I see some of these guys, they're trying to make just these small little peaks like that 57 car. He's getting a little anxious.
How about Richard Kingart there in the 57 machine? Richard Kingart last year won the opener to what is now the Lenovo Pro Series a year ago. And, you know, he hasn't made too many starts this year in the Sprint Series, but here he is with a great opportunity at getting one done here at Daytona. He has been around a long time veteran of the channel, and great to see him back behind the wheel for this race. As for the race lead, Emily Bull in the 99. The filament drive to Landon Smith Jr. there, looking to the inside of Carson Miller for the race lead. Santiago's on the inside lane as well. And this inside lane just continues to keep on forming up here. And this number 5 machine now taking the race lead, looking for his 3rd win of the season. That inside lane is cycling through a lot more than I thought it was going to here tonight. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case tomorrow night in the Truck Series.
Well, the pace of this race has definitely changed a lot when the 25 of Miller was able to jump his way in front of the 80, and now we're seeing some of these boys and girls on the bottom of the racetrack really starting to move their way. We've got 3 of the 4 cars lined up on the bottom are Honda powered, so this is definitely it's just changed the complexion now. And look there on the bottom. So if we keep cycling this around, the guy who's in an interesting spot right now, couple cars back here on the inside's Juan Romero in the 87. I don't recall off the top of my head the points number he needs to clinch tonight, but
he's just got to
this
be
is
ahead
a great
of Faden.
opportunity.
And right now he's ahead of Faden, so he's good. It's Faden who needs 11 points on Romero to stay in contention. Otherwise, Romero's got this in the bag. And right now, that is the case as they run.
In the middle by the 93 car there, Koshmar. So, 4 wide.
57 machine there. Richard Kingart moving up just a
the
little bit on Camara right there. That could have opened the door for Michael Lewis, and it did not. Andrew Williams on the inside lane here as well, but I'm telling you, Carson Miller. You know, I actually completely forgot. Carson Miller got the win at Watkins Glen. He's going for his 2nd win of the season. I said that he had yet to win on the channel before, and I was completely wrong about that. He got that win at Watkins Glen in that crazy race that we had at Watkins Glen, and he's got an opportunity at getting this one here tonight. But Josh Harmon is still up here in the 80 machine, and he can actually clear down on the 99 of Emily Bull if he wants to, and he's going to go for the race lead. How about that? He's been up front. He's been up top this whole race, and here he is for NS Racing looking for what is going to be his first career win if he gets it here tonight. I'm pretty sure about that one. I don't know. Score 4 crashed on me and only got us the top 20, and neither of these 2 guys up front are top 20 in points. But now that's going to
And
shuffle
this
things
80
even more. Emily Bull trying to get something to go her way. Santiago Labarito, Richard Carrot still on that inside lane, but it's not formed up as much up front now. And now you got Emily Bull going for the race lead here on Josh Harmon.
That 80 car was so good on the top lane, and I for sure thought he was going to clear, but the 99 got to the inside.
Yeah, the 99 has just had way better pace tonight and track position than the one of Faden, which is really unfortunate for Trackhouse Racing. But, I mean, let's also be honest, it was going to take a complete disaster from Romero tonight to have this championship go down to the absolute wire, and he is a couple laps away from winning this. But this battle heating up here at the front. It's Bull, it's Harmon, it's two Hondas on the bottom. It is Miller, who's been driving like an absolute madman tonight. I don't know where the best position you want to be in, but I feel like it's somewhere on the bottom, and I don't think you want to be the leader right now with coming to 3 laps to go when we get back to the stripe.
Yeah, 3.5 laps to go here at Daytona in this Florida 200. Josh Harmon has essentially been the only driver who's been up front in the top 3 this entire night. And he's got a good opportunity at getting this win. He's now single file ahead of Emily Bull right there. You got the 25 of Carson Miller, though. Don't give him another opportunity, but it looks like he's going to get one here. That's trying to get to the outside of Harmon right here, as he can't get to the inside of that 99 machine at the moment. Christian Master right behind him as well. Remember, he won the Valvoline 400 a year ago. He knows how to get it done. He wants to be back in that Valvoline 400, be top 4 in this race for the hot seat. Meanwhile, here comes Michael Lewis in the 02, who has not won in quite some time. It was Circuit of the Americas when he last won. And he's bringing who will more likely be the champion of the Herr Sprint Series here tonight, Juan Romero in the 87, going 3 wide for third as Emily Bull goes for the race lead. I'm Josh Harmon coming to 2 laps to go here in this Florida 200.
Oh, does Mr. Steal your win? We've dubbed many drivers here on the channel Mr. Steal your win, but the man who's been Mr. Steal your win in 2024 has been Juan Romero. He's going to come out of nowhere again, sat in the back all race, and 2 laps to go. Look who's back up here on the bottom lane.
Going for the lead. Can he hold it?
Brandon
That's the
Nelson.
question. The 92. I mean, he's been looking antsy all race. He's been making moves, and comes the 93 and the 90 car.
Josh Harmon still
They maybe
getting
have
that
a sail,
run
though.
on the
Harmon
outside lane right
pushing
here.
outside by Miller.
He got the push from Miller right there. Juan Romero in the 87. He wants to really clean sweep it here tonight. He's going to have a shot to do it. Here we go. White flag in the air in the Florida 200 at Daytona for Josh Harmon in the 80 machine. But will he be the one who gets the win? Will it be Romero or will it be somebody else? Brandon Nelson, Leonard Kochmer on the inside lane as well. Kochmer's going to move up to the middle lane. That's not a good move for him. Romero still holding the inside with help from Brandon Nelson. But Josh Harmon has been up front pretty much this entire race. If he stays alongside, we could have a close one here for the finish.
Oh, Romero got a huge put. Oh, he's going to the middle. He's going to the middle.
And Josh
Oh,
Harmon,
boy.
he has
Here
enough
comes
to clear
Harmon.
that
Harmon got a
87
huge
right now if he
push.
wants
Back
to.
here.
And he's going to be able to clear him. Josh Harmon
Oh, now
in
he's
the 80
clear.
machine. It's not going to be Romero winning the race. It's going to be Josh Harmon who gets his first career win on the channel. Josh Harmon wins the Florida 200. And Juan Romero has won the 2024 Herr Sprint Series Championship. That was a very interesting race right there, and something we've got to look forward to tomorrow as well. It's going to be very similar stuff. But Josh Harmon was out front pretty much this entire race on that outside lane, and he kept it in there, got the run on the outside lane when it counted, and he is your race winner of the Florida 200 here at Daytona. But Juan Romero, the celebrations will be starting there in Nicolas Amedio's team. Juan Romero clinching it a race early here in the Herr Sprint Series. And with a 3rd place finish, he's going to be running on Friday night in the Valvoline 400. What a race here tonight at Daytona. Setting up for the finale at Darlington. Josh Harmon has the fastest time. Angel Olvera with the second fastest time. Leonard Kochmer, Chris Reynolds, and then Matt Black. Take a look at the rest of the fastest laps right there, and that is how they will line up for Darlington, of those who do in fact sign up and run in that race. But Josh Harmon with the win here at Daytona ahead of Carson Miller, Juan Romero, and Michael Lewis. Those 4 drivers will be racing on Friday night in the Valvoline 400. And man, I gotta ask you, we still got 2 big races coming up here, the opener and the trucks tomorrow night. And then of course we've got the penultimate race in the Wall Cup Series on Friday night. How do you think it's going to go down, considering what we saw here tonight? A caution-free race here at Daytona, but a lot of moving around up front here.
Well, I don't think you're going to see a caution. You might see in the Cup Series after what we saw last year in the penultimate race. You definitely might see that, but I don't think the Truck Series is going to go wire to wire unstopped tomorrow night. Should be interested. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to rolling off as about the 8th best team on the grid, so that should be fun. But then the Cup race, obviously, lots on the line, and you're gonna see that, like, you know, how much do you really want to give and take there under the lights here at Daytona? Because there's going to be there's a lot more on the line than just the race win in that Cup race.
It's definitely going to be an interesting Cup race, no doubt about it, because like you said, very tight up top the point standings, and some guys who, if a big one happens and those top guys get taken out, could very well find themselves in position at Darlington a week and a half from now. But Max, I'll ask you, you got a couple of trucks in tomorrow night's race. What are you telling your 2 drivers, Skip Silver and Jack Haas, going into that Featherlight Trailers 250?
Yeah, I'm just telling them not to stay calm. You know, we saw that in this race, you know, you just had to be methodical. I mean, Juan Romero, he just worked his way up through the field, and, you know, that's the skill of a champion right there. And I'd like my driver to emulate that, if possible, of course.
And Jack Haas is a great driver. Of course, he's still in championship contention in the Wall Cup Series, so, you know, he's going to be using tomorrow night as a bit of a practice round for the big one on Friday. Well, thank you so much for watching here. Sign up for the last sprint race coming up here in just a couple of minutes from Darlington. And the next race will be next Friday evening, not Wednesday evening, from Darlington for the South Carolina 200, the finale of the Herr Sprint Series in 2024. But a huge congratulations to Juan Romero. He has clinched the championship here in the Herr Sprint Series, and that gives him an opportunity to reserve a spot for the Wall Cup Series next season. We'll see where that all ends up shaking out, but a huge congratulations to Juan Romero. Just a solid season from start to finish for him. No one could get to him, and unfortunately fate just didn't quite have enough to get there. Still a valiant effort nonetheless for that team. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the points for the Herr Sprint Series after 31 races. Juan Romero has clinched the championship. We've still got one more race left to go here in the Sprint Series next Friday night from Darlington. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of Matt Tuck and Max Davis, congratulations to Josh Harmon and Juan Romero, your 2024 Herr Sprint Series champion. I will see you guys later.